Well, there is no sign of Ryan Fraust anywhere. Seems like a wild goose chase. Supposed to be my buddy. So, I don't know. I'm gonna keep looking. All right, baby. It's time to get this going, man. I've been looking for this dude for... Mr. Fraust!
Good to see you, man.
Well, I went to where you told me to meet you.
Yeah, Don. Tazrax is my home field. It's my home court advantage. It's not where I live, bro. Come on. Let's go in the back.
This is the infamous Ryan Fraust, and you are listening to one of 3 human beings on this planet that I can even tolerate to be around. Don Kincaid, stirring the pot.
This is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid.
That's me. You talk playing music. Ryan Fraust goes from acting and music, or music and acting, or Ryan
went from acting to music because I wanted to get different roles in the plays while I was going to school for theater. Oh. I knew that I had a really, really good instrument that was not ready to go.
Okay.
You know, and I met a guitarist who wanted to play music with me, and he was like, dude, you sound like Bruce Dickinson. You just sound like you don't really know what you're doing. So we'll put a band together, but like, why don't you get some lessons?
Okay.
And like so many people, like very many people, have you watched any of these like American Idol auditions where they're like, listen, you're good, just get some lessons? Mm-hmm. And these people freak out. They're like, you're telling me to get lessons? I'm so good. Get lessons means you're good. Learn how to do it right.
Right.
You know? And I'll bet you there's a lot of backyarders who somebody says, you know, you should go to wrestling school. And they're like, no, I'm going to do what I do, you know, to keep it relevant. But, Mark Lyon, who I love dearly, one of my, like, 3 favorite people on the planet, actually, he said, like, yeah, you know, I love your voice, but, you know, go get some lessons so that our band is good. And I'm like, okay. You know, I went eventually. And Rob Volpentesta in Bethel, Connecticut, who goes by Rob Thorne, who sings for Sacred Oath, got me going. My voice was pretty good for a while.
It's awesome.
You know, the last band I took seriously, he wanted me to sing stuff that was higher than anybody should be singing. You know, and I don't mean falsetto. I mean like below falsetto. So you're pushing so hard to get this power metal European shit out, and it just doesn't work, man.
You know, it's weird you say that because I've played for a little bit, and we were just a total cover band, you know, and we were learning this airborne.
Don Kincaid was in an awesome band called High Octane.
It was fun times. We were learning a song from Airborne, if I'm not mistaken, and for the life of me, the title escapes me, but it was tuned to F. You know, as a guitar player,
he is high.
He's pretty high.
He is standard.
Yeah,
right?
He is standard.
But high.
But then
if you tune to D, I'm like, oh yeah, let's go.
Dude, that's my jam. Go. Yeah. But then we start jamming this, and I'm like, this isn't working. Something is off. We had to tune to F or learn it in E. So we just learned it in E because who the heck tunes up to F? I mean, come on, man.
That's crazy.
So yeah, you know, falling into that instance, you can only push your abilities to a limit.
Yeah.
You know?
And like, if I told him 100 times, if you listen to Warrell Dane from Nevermore, rest in peace, or you listen to Halford and Priest, you know, you listen to these guys. You listen to when they flip into falsetto. I can do everything they can do, but I cannot do what you're asking me to do.
Gotcha.
You know, and I wish I had the wherewithal at the time to say, like, can we modulate all this stuff?
Exactly.
Because the songs are really good. I have one recorded. If anybody ever wants to hear it, DM me. And you can hear me just pushing way too hard, you know?
Right.
But Red Mud Rising was my first band. Colin, my landlord, whose house this is, and why we have this really cool setup.
It's pretty straight.
All we did was covers, but we would take them. You know, we did like "Pump It Up" by Elvis Costello. We did like we would take like really goofy covers and make them like really hard rock.
Okay.
That was the most fun I've ever had.
I think there was a video that I saw you doing, maybe "Fortunate Son" at Cook's or something like that.
Maybe.
I think I seen there was a video floating around, and it was at Cook's Cafe. I'm pretty specific because I've been to Cook's many a time.
Maybe.
So hey, you know,
share it with me.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Hey, if I can
remember.
find that baby, I'm gonna show it to you. Tons of fun music is now.
Yeah.
Amazing fun. The stages.
I still love it. I still, you know, once in a while I go to karaoke. I just realize that I've been focused on wrestling so much that I haven't been maintaining my instrument. And I can't play anything. Like, I just sing, you know. So every time I go to karaoke now, I call it a 90s party. That's when I just sing, like, Alice in Chains and you know, some Soundgarden. Not all Soundgarden. That motherfucker sang, huh?
That is one rough voice to cover. That is definitely
We
a
used
voice
to do, Colin here, my landlord and I, used to do The Day I Tried to Live.
Wow.
And I'll listen to it now, and I'll be like, how did I ever sing those notes? But I did. We were playing the Red Door here in Watertown, and I broke their PA by singing that song, like, just like, wah! Like,
Really?
just like it started going, and they were like, okay, you gotta stop.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I love that story. That's great stuff. What is the water the Red Door nowadays? I forget. It's a different
Ouzo
name.
Blue.
Ouzo
I
Blue.
think.
Yes.
You're not gonna drink this. ever.
No, please. I have this right here. I've been sipping quite well.
And stirring the pot.
Yeah. Again, beautiful setting. This is fantastic. To get back to Just Incredible, you're friends with him, if I'm not mistaken. Can I say that correctly or no?
Yeah.
Okay. I seen some of the promos that were leading up to such event, if you
Yeah.
will.
Well, I was trying to get him hot,
Okay.
and I think I did a pretty good job, actually.
Okay.
But
He was a little hot, yeah.
you know, we fought it out.
Swat.
We fought it
Dude,
out.
there's pterodactyls around here.
There's some bugs. There's some bugs. These torches are supposed to help.
Hey, that's fine.
You know, I was picking a fight, you know, with somebody who I knew would forgive me. You know, we're not on the best terms, but we're not on the worst terms. You know, we message each other at least once or twice a week. I just had to. It's kind of like punching Jay Brown in the dick. Like, he was my friend, you know, but I want to start wrestling. I don't want to be a ref anymore. Credible. Like, you know, I've done some pretty cool things here and there, but I want to be in your documentary. I want to be in your music video. So I'm going to talk as much shit as I can to make it so that I'm the guy you want to fight.
There was quite a bit of it.
Pretty well done, too, I might add.
Yeah, I have to say, you took us, the fans, on a ride leading to that Battlefront event.
Bro, January 5th, my birthday, scheduled match, Just Incredible, who I worshipped in my youth. I loved Just Incredible. I loved everything about ECW. And he goes to jail again. And I'm like, the promo where I said, promise me he won't be just incarcerated, and Scott said, it's on, and we shook. Like, that was not, anybody at home, it was not predetermined that this guy's going to jail. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, definitely not.
Right.
Like, I said that to cause a buzz, and then he went to jail.
Wow.
And it's like, what the fuck?
What just happened?
And I get, I got to wrestle Brutal Bob Evans, which
wasn't that an amazing like replacement? That was.
It wasn't as emotionally like charged.
No. Because you were gearing up for this whole thing.
I tried to talk junk about him. I tried to call him old and stuff, and they gave me that chance too. So thank you, Battlefront. But I got that match, which was huge for me.
Just Incredible, your biggest match to date? Could I say that correctly?
How could it not be? Ron Zombie was a big deal too.
Dude, that was crazy.
All of those promos were legit too. I've known Ron for over 20 years.
Wow.
Actually, the first time I saw Nasty Disaster, they were opening for me and Mark, who sent me to the voice lessons.
No kidding.
And I was like, oh, whoa, we can't follow this. I love Nasty Disaster. Holy shit. I've known Ron for 20 years, and I would always, because I couldn't cut this promo because it was too long, and now I have to cut my promos down. I would see Ron at a metal show, and I would say, bro, I'm a big wrestling fan. And he'd be like, okay, kid. Because no wrestler wants to talk to fans. Sorry, guys. And I'd be like, well, I'm going to train and we're going to fight. And he's always like, yeah, okay, whenever. He married, he's a minister, and he married one of my best friends, James, and his wife, Anna. And I got to go to the wedding, and he chokeslammed me a bunch of times on a couch because they wanted to show this kid how to chokeslam people. Okay. And then they had the kid chokeslam me. And that was after I had trained at PWA, but when I wasn't really training anymore. So I woke up hurting. But, I have pictures of Ron Zombie choke slamming me onto a couch at a wedding.
That is cool.
Dude, I cheered my head off for him 100 times.
So how does Ryan Frost versus Ron Zombie come about at Undeniable?
How does that even happen?
Yeah, how does that?
He's at NEW. No one can work anywhere else.
How did that come about? I was blown away to see the announcement.
It's because Slick Wagner Brown is a boss, bro. That's why.
Okay.
And, we knew we had Tazrax. We knew we were going to be in Ron Zombie's neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And, I don't know. He talked to Ron, and he got Ron to agree to a booking, and, there was no real knowing who he was going to end up fighting, but TOS likes to challenge me.
Do you know what his reaction? Did he reach out to you when he found out it was you?
I don't know if I should talk about it or not.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
All right.
I messaged him.
Oh.
And I was like, hey, Ron, what are you doing on whatever date, June 16th? And he was like, beating your ass.
That's awesome.
And I was like, oh shit, it's on.
Yes.
And I was like, well, okay, then I'll tell Slick. And he's like, I already told him. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh shit, he was for real, man.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, man.
And then, I noticed a different demeanor with Ron leading up to it. He was a little more clipped with his responses. He was a little more like, yo, I'm going to fight you. And I'm like, oh, okay.
And we know that he's been around the game for a while because
at least 20 years.
He is a hardcore legend.
He was trained by Killer Kowalski.
Around here.
He's a New England Wrestling Hall of Famer.
He has a lot of experience, first off. But when you're walking into this, and I know, you just had that match with Just Incredible, and it's just incredible, and to take nothing away from who Ron Zombie is, but two hardcore guys, two big, huge matches like that, back to back. How do you prepare yourself to do this?
When I beat Just Incredible, which I did, I became the new hardcore icon. And that's not Ryan, that's Fraust, but that's legit.
Wait, did you say you just won by yourself? Because let's rewind just a tad. We're at Battlefront. You're fighting Just Incredible. There's a couple guys around the ring, if you will. There's one Slade Dangerfield. There's one TJ Howell III. And son of a bitch, if Slade Dangerfield doesn't get a super kick to the face from one Just Incredible, but then TJ Howell gets Just Incredible with the old ding hammer.
I was really hoping you were going to ask me about that, because have you seen Just Incredible matches?
I have.
Have you watched him in ECW?
Have
you seen him fight Jerry Lynn and Mikey Whipwreck and Sabu and the Sandman?
Yeah.
He always had an entourage. Right?
Oh.
Did he?
He did.
So I knew whether or not I could beat him on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I might be able to.
Okay.
But I knew that karma led him to this point. He didn't have an entourage. He had a podcast partner, Jax Stevens, what's up? He had a podcast partner, another guy, and Scott, watching the match, having no part in it, right?
Oh, yes, he did.
And I had lumberjacks that I had brought with me to Battlefront for my lumberjack match against Scott, who are now grandfathered in.
The four kings?
There are four kings. Jake couldn't make it.
Yeah.
And that's, at the end of the day, every Just Incredible match you will see from 1990, probably 6 to 8, at the end, one person comes in, gets hit. One person comes in, gets hit. One person comes in, gets hit. Credible for the win. I said, that's the only way that he will get karmic justice, is if that's how I beat him. And that's what happened. I had a guy come in, got hit. Had a guy come in, got hit. Boom, you're done. It was karmic justice.
That was fun.
I've talked to him about that, and he says, yeah, well, I did do a lot of that when I was younger. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm not even young, but I did that.
You both took us fans on one hell of a ride through that match. I know that Alex and Slick are very, very adamant on telling a story. If you're not telling a story in the ring, you're not serving your purpose, because you're not giving the fans a reaction. You're not giving
You don't have
our
to give the fans anything.
Well, you're not giving us emotions to go on.
Yeah.
But that's what happens. And that was one hell of a ride, I must say.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
The whole Jay Brown thing, if I might bring up, because you hate when I bring his name up, I'll hug him. That, again, because we're talking about going on crazy rides. You beat the piss out of this boy. Oh my God, I'm getting me too excited.
For like 6 months.
For forever.
Yeah.
I just lost my shit there for a second. You beat the hell out of Jay Brown for a long time. And you took us all on a very wild journey and a very emotional journey, because not at your hands, but at one point, I actually threw a lily.
I saw that. That was awesome. And then Jake Diavol did something with it.
Yeah. He gave Jay Brown a heart punch, and I threw in a lily because I didn't expect Jay Brown to get through Diavol. He's not getting through Frost. There's no way he's getting through Diavol. So you took us all on a wild ride with the Jay Brown story. Was that fun for you? As Frost. Was that fun for you? It was a lot of
fun to just keep beating on this punk. Yeah, that was great.
Was it fun for Ryan?
So, as I may have mentioned earlier in this discussion, at my first instance of training at all, actually I messaged Ron Zombie about that. The Stevie Richards seminar, that was my first instance of training. I messaged Ron Zombie and said, hey, do you know if somebody with no experience is welcome at this? And he's like, let me ask Stevie. And then he was like, yeah, you can go.
Bam.
Yeah. J-Bone was there.
That's awesome.
The first time I did anything related to wrestling.
Wow.
So, was it special to bring somebody along with me? And I don't mean that he didn't play his role. I'm saying I knew I was doing it. I knew I had to establish myself.
Mm-hmm.
I did not necessarily get to choose who I did it with, but I was very happy with who I did it with. And bring him along on this story and do it together. And you know what? He's actually probably benefited from it more than I have. And I don't have any regrets for that.
The people absolutely love that kid.
Ugh, I don't know why, but it's good.
You should rephrase that, because you are part of why we love him so much.
Well, that's the thing. That's kind of the thing. That's what I'm trying to say when I say I brought him along with me. It's not like he didn't play his part. He did everything he was supposed to do and more. But if it had been Hippie, if it had been Sammy, because at that point he hadn't realized that it's much more fun to be a bad guy. If it had been, there's a lot of guys it could have been. The fact that it was him, the fact that he needed that spark, and that I happened to be the guy at the right place at the right time to give him that spark, and he had, I have no regrets. I still haven't beaten him. I mean, I've beaten him in tag matches. I've cost him matches.
Right.
I have not, in a singles match, put his shoulders on the mat. So we're going to have to amend that at some point. But
that is very interesting. We something we're going to have to watch out for in the future.
No time soon. I got a lot of other things on my plate, man.
Come on, but it's J-Bone. I mean, I'll handle J-Bone. Come on, baby.
I have Test of Strength, Bell Time Club, which we haven't talked about at all, but it's far away.
It's a haul for me, I got to say.
Bell Time Club is the sister school to Test of Strength. They don't operate together because they're so far away from each other, but Bo Douglas runs up towards Boston. We run out in Hartford. Bell Time, TOS, and Battlefront. There are a handful of championships for me to chase. I'm not worried about J-Bron.
Now, championships, they say, if your goal isn't the championship, then why are you in wrestling? But then there's others that say...
Dusty said that to Paige.
Now there's
PvP.
others that say championships shouldn't always be the goal. What's your thought on that?
The immediate goal in any match you have. I'm trying to straddle the kayfabe line, but
that's okay. That's okay.
But truly, your immediate goal in any match you have is to have an athletic contest that the audience remembers more so than others. Can a lot of people do a lot more flippy shit than I can do? Yeah. And am I talking shit about them? No.
It's just a different style.
I am so impressed.
Yeah, it's just a different style. That's all.
I am so impressed by all that. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to do is to create an emotional connection with the audience while trying to win the match. Championships, whether we're talking about complete kayfabe, it's a sport, we're challenging for championships, or it's a production, someone is chosen to be champion. No matter what you're saying, if you're having the best match on the card, if the promoter decides to give you that championship, it's because they believe in you. It's because they think you can contribute to the company as a whole. It's you want to be champion. If you do not want to be champion, do not do this for whatever motivation it is.
You mentioned Dirtbag Dan, and I'm bringing him up because of the championship discussion we're talking right now. That guy has held on to the Battlefront Pro Wrestling Hardcore Championship. And from day one that he had that dude is an insane promo machine with that belt. He's everywhere with it. He's pushing the company. He's pushing the belt. He's pushing himself. I love that. I think that is what companies need.
That speaks for Dirtbag Dan as a person.
Yes, absolutely.
He is a phenomenal human being. He has nothing but love for the sport. He has nothing but love for the boys and girls in the back. I've been at odds with him. I've actually wrestled him 5 times.
And
he was my partner in my debut.
Yeah, your very first.
And I've wrestled against him 5 times.
Wow.
Neither of us have pinned or made the other submit.
There's another one we might.
All those times we fight.
2. Jay Brown, Dirtbag.
What?
Nothing. I was just talking to them.
He hasn't pinned me either, though.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm saying that's something we're looking for in the future. Ryan versus Jay Brown, Ryan versus Dirtbag, singles. Something that, you know.
Oh, it'd be nice to have a singles match once in a while.
That would be cool. I'm going to bring up another name, TJ Howell III.
Uh-huh.
I bring his name up because when I spoke to him in a Stirring the Pot, we were talking character and promos and him building, evolving his character from way back when he was TJ from State Farm. That cracks me up. I don't know why it's so much. But when he...
I think it was Tyler from State Farm.
Tyler? Yeah. From State Farm? Tyler from... See, I got too much stuff. See, I'm glad you corrected me on.
I got you.
He spoke of you personally about helping with his promos and how to project and the ideas to get out and, you know, get them done. Get your projection out there and make people invested in it. And he mentioned you on big props for helping him through a lot of different things.
That's very sweet of him. And we do help each other, like wrestling and otherwise. He's the second student of Test of Strength. Like it's Ty Shine, then TJ Howell. Like he, as far as I'm concerned, he's royalty at Test of Strength. You know, gimmick or not.
And I'm singing stupid shark songs to him. He's royalty at TOS. And
dude, his triple threat with Jiggy Sosa and Marcos last training day was by far match of the night. It was probably as good as any match at Undeniable. He's killing it. He can offer me credit, but like it's really just at the end of the day, you know, Alex Rojas is always talking to us about how to, because Alex learned directly under Perry Saturn and Paul Heyman about executing promos.
We did speak about that.
Al went to the ECW dojo. So, you know, if TJ wants to give me props, I'm going to give Alex props. And then Alex gets credit for helping TJ too, whether it was through me or not, you know. But I know it's not because we do a lot of car rides together. And it's tough for me to take credit because TJ is a hell of a performer, and this is the first role that he's been able to like really embrace.
He has, and I've seen the evolution.
Yeah.
We spoke of the evolution of his character and where it started and where it is now. I love it. I love to hate it, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like
so good.
Theme song.
Oh.
How does Ryan Frost come out to Alice Cooper?
So I'm a big metalhead. I love a lot of good melodic, like dark metal. I don't really care for Alice Cooper much, but I was hitting up Slade Dangerfield because Peasy is his rap persona. Again, Ryan Frost, the Icer Ryan Frost, was supposed to be like an MMA thing and like a Hitman thing, and I was like, all right, so Peasy, tell me like a good, like dark, moody hip hop beat to come out to, you know? And I was thinking like the Gravediggers or like DMX or something. And he's like, no, bro, you have to come out to this. And he gave me Vengeance Is Mine by Alice Cooper. And I was like, oh. And I was like, can I really have this? He's like, well, now that you're saying it, I want to come out to it. But no, I gave it to you. He comes out to fucking Sorry.
That's okay. That's
He
okay.
comes out to like Kill 'Em All, or he comes out to some Metallica song,
It is a Metallica.
and I'm like, you shouldn't come out to that. You should come out to something like a little deeper, you know, like this Alice Cooper song. Alice Cooper is mainstream, but it's a deep track.
The cut, yes, exactly.
And you know, the drums, and then like here's me sitting backstage. The drums happen, and I'm starting to get into character. Da-na-na-na. And that's like putting the character in my mind, and I'm waiting for the squeal of Slash to start playing guitar, and that's when I break the curtain. It's completely perfect. And even the lyrics, like, you hated every part of me, wanted to forget, and like all this shit, the lyrics, everything about it is completely Fraust.
When you're behind a curtain and you're going through is that every time?
So it depends on the day. Sometimes, let's say that place in Bridgeport that time recently, and I'm already looking at this event like, this is garbage, and I don't really care about what I'm doing here because I'm never going to work here again. You know, I'm just goofing off. I don't care. If I'm going out to wrestle Justin Credible, if I'm going out to wrestle Slick Wagner Brown at Fenway Park, if I'm going out to wrestle anybody, you know, if I'm going out to wrestle El Jabroni, I'm sitting there. As soon as the drums start, I'm like, all right, you know, because I'm preparing myself throughout the day, but I can't walk around in character all day. Like, it can't happen. Because our call times are always 2, 3, 4 hours before bell time. And you know, you got to change your clothes, you got to be friendly to people because, you know, wrestling is built on respect. You know, I can't be in character all day. So eventually it's like, oh, I'm only a match or two before my match. That's when it's like, all right, let me change into these clothes, and I'm still not really there yet. Let me go do some push-ups so that I have the pump. And then I'm standing, which you would call gorilla, you know. And then the drums start. It's like, okay. And I get like a good 2 times through the riff to feel it. And then I hear the squeal, and then it's automatic.
That's awesome.
Then I'm Fraust.
That
There
is
we go.
so awesome, man. Because I've always wondered, I mean, you hear, you know, the interviews from WWE and how the music really, really gets you going. And I just wanted to, it's pretty universal with wrestlers.
And I'm sure, I don't know what wrestlers who didn't play music ever go through, but I know as a musician, you know, music speaks to you on so many levels.
Oh, yeah.
You can hear a song and cry, or you can hear a song and laugh, or you can hear a song and be instantly transported to some place that you can definitely never go again. That's what it is. I know there's all these bugs. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I've karate chopped about 30 of them so far. I'm doing pretty good. I'm just gonna go back again to the TJ Howell conversation, and we were talking. You said, I don't want to take the credit because he took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
You were on Justin Credible's podcast.
Yeah.
And there was one line that I took from that, and I actually made it my status.
I think I remember.
And there was a quote, and I put Ryan Frost's name under it. And it had something, I'm paraphrasing, but the main focus was, you want to leave, or you want to help the generation that's coming in or who's learning now. You want to help those guys and girls be better so you can leave the wrestling industry a better place. And again, I'm paraphrasing. That was way longer than what you said.
No.
But I think that's what right?
I still want to be around. I don't want to leave it. I'm just, Ryan, my personal goal is to help make everyone around me better. Like, I want what talents I do have to help other people execute in a way that might help them get noticed, might help them get signed, might help, you know, you got to cut promos. I'm beating around the bush, but let's be honest. You have to cut promos.
You have to.
you know, because people in WWE don't at all times, you know,
Right.
or they're just, and I hate that these writers have so much power over there, and that they're sitting there
and you got to read it,
spitting out this shit.
yeah.
You have to talk, no matter how good you are. Sorry, Ricochet, but you have to talk no matter how good you are. So, like, if the acting degree that I will never finish paying for because student loans are crazy, and the experience I've had acting, and the experience that I've had just in interpersonal communication, like, I feel like some people just never talk to other people. Like, if you've ever spoken to another person, you can cut a promo, I would think, because you just do that, and some people can't do it. But if I can use what I do have, because I don't have like backflips and front flips and all the crazy shit, but I have storytelling, I would like to think, and I have just advice to give based on my past experience. I want to impart that on all the people who do have all the shit I don't have,
Right.
so that, God willing, we can all, you know, move up, do well together.
That's awesome.
And I'm not saying like I want to make everyone around me better so we can all get to a better place because I'm relying on them to get me there. I'm saying if I can get in a little better shape and do a little more in the ring, I think I could be there too by myself. But I want us all to get there together. I want Test of Strength as a whole and Battlefront as a whole to just get together, just go up and provide entertaining sport competition that people can watch and enjoy.
Whenever I first came up to you and said, "Hi, my name is Don Kincaid. I do this shticky thing."
I think I met you before the shtick.
We did at PWA,
Yeah.
but as a wrestler, when I come up to you and do that whole thing, and I don't know anybody, I never know what the reaction is going to be. When I came up to you, are you like, who the F is this idiot? Or I think I might have a chance to, whoever's behind that camera taking footage, I might have a chance to maybe get the footage spread out more.
No.
Or what was your reaction when
Never in a million years.
when a silly Kincaid comes up to you?
I 100% honestly don't. I don't expect anything from the sport. I'm here to do it because I love it. If I don't get an envelope, it's not the end of the world. If I, don't get the match I want, it's not the end of the world. I'm here to make the event that I'm on better. If a fan comes to me and wants to talk to me in any aspect, I do have to check myself and say, like, is this going to be completely kayfabe, or like, what are you talking to me about?
Right.
But no, I want to make sure that everybody who is paying money to take part in an event feel welcome. This past Saturday at Belltime did a carnival or something. I fought Big Bear. This kid came up to me at the end, and he's like, "Hey, I really love the show. I want to be a wrestler when I grow up. Can you sign my shirt?" And I'm like,
That's awesome.
"Yeah, well,
That's awesome.
Well, and what Fraust would do, Fraust would be like, "Get bent, kid."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, well, do you have a marker or something?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, it took me a minute to think, and I'm like, all right.
How do I react to this?
Well, really, what if I was that kid, and somebody was just like, "Nah, dude, suck it." No. So I ran over to Nicole Matala, who had a table and everything.
Yeah, she's got a thing going now.
And I was like, "Hey, can I just grab a Sharpie?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "But first, can you sign this kid's shirt?" She was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Can he keep the Sharpie for now?" And he's like, "I promise I'll give it back." And she's like, "Yeah, fine." And this kid got, what's that going to be? It might be in his garbage in 2 years, 3 years.
But right now,
He might decide that he doesn't give a shit about wrestling. He might decide that, he's the biggest New Jersey Jets fan. I don't know. But for that day, he was like, oh, the wrestler helped me get the shit. And it's like, Frost is a big jerk, and he will always be, but I'm glad I helped.
well, it's funny you speak of that, because when I was younger, I used to see Purdy Curdy at NEW shows. And he would piss off every single fan. They would all boo him and they would all hate him. But as soon as that intermission hit, the kids swarmed that guy.
Yeah, he's selling gimmicks, bro.
They all wanted his picture with a signature on it. It was amazing. It really was.
It's cool to be bad.
It really was.
Look at MJF, bro. I never liked him. And all the stuff recently, I'm just like, dude, this guy is money.
Pure money.
Money.
I love to hate him, but I love to love him even more now. Everything that he said in AEW, cutting on Bret Hart, when he comes out and he's cutting on the fans and Paige and all that. Dude, he's so good.
So good.
Even post pressers, he's good. Are you kidding me?
I don't even get it. Like, I'm like, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And you'll see headlines on, like, pages or whatever, and it'll be like, MJF cuts or talks badly to all the fans after AEW Fight Fest.
Yeah.
Or Fire, and it's like, no, he's being MJF.
That's the point.
Yes. Yes. And the media, it's not only the fans, though. That's what I'm really driving at. The media is pushing on this.
Well, they think it's real. They think he's that much of a jerk.
Yeah.
I saw him at X site. It was Slick's table was next to his table. And he's just talking junk to everybody.
Yeah, it never stops.
It never stops. At another show, I saw him, and this kid was like, hey, can I have your autograph? And he's like, yeah, okay, here. What's your name, kid? Never mind. Dipshit. And it's just like, yes! Money.
That's awesome.
Cash money.
That is awesome. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he's great. And I never liked him. I thought he wasn't good. I saw him at NEW a couple times. Mm-hmm. I was like, not my ice cream.
Okay.
Not my flavor ice cream.
Yeah.
And I was wrong. I've been wrong a time or two.
Oh, man. So being a villain is where Frost... Do you think that's where always Frost will be?
Yeah. I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin fought Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13 and was the villain the whole time. Bret was the hero the whole time. And by the end of that match, it's not like Austin started acting like a babyface.
Right.
It's just the crowd got behind him.
Right.
I think there may be a point, at some point in some promotion, where regardless of the fact that I'm such a jerk, like, I'm going to start making sense. My buddy's Paul, we already talked about Paul. His daughter, his 3-year-old daughter, who just turned 4, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might get bad.
Yo!
We might get bad.
Dude.
His 4-year-old daughter pointed at the Avengers, not Endgame, the other one. What was the first Avengers? Like the leading up to Thanos. I don't remember.
Oh, I don't remember title. I'm Donkey Kid. I don't
Infinity
remember
War.
Jack.
She pointed at the
War.
Infinity War DVD case. She pointed at Thanos and said, Ryan.
Just like that. That's awesome.
And like, Frost is very Thanos. He doesn't say anything that's untrue. Everything he says makes sense. It's just kind of like, oh, you're the bad guy, There may be a point in some promotion where the individual that I'm standing across the ring from is even more reviled, where maybe not Battlefront. Those guys hate me up there. There's there might be a point where, it's like, oh, actually, I kind of want Ryan Frost to win. because it's always relatable. It's always honest. It's just really mean.
You having fun with the character?
Yeah. Oh, it's the same. I hated the name at first, but I'm in, this is what we're doing.
So why use your real first name, but change the last name?
I have no idea. That was Alex.
That just came about?
Alex. Alex Rojas created the Icer Ryan Frost, And we wanted it to be Frost because we want to be cold because he was a hitman, MMA guy. And we got rid of the Icer, but Fraust is very German, and I'm not a Nazi, I'm not a racist, but I do have German blood. So, I'm actually more Irish than anything. So then you keep the Ryan.
Right.
It works. And it's fine, dude. If I went to the E, they would call me whatever they want. So I don't care really what you call me. I'm just out there to get people involved and
You do. And I do want to reiterate that. I have said it earlier in this interview, but you show us that you want to be a jerk. You be a jerk.
It's fun to be a jerk.
And then as not only you come out and show us you're a jerk, in ring you be a jerk, as you leave, you're still being an ass to us. And that, my friend, is portraying your character. So me as a fan, I appreciate when somebody gives me a direction to go, as we spoke of before, but you're always on. You're always on, and you're
as long
always
as I'm
on.
out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that as a fan, to keep that direction and keep that emotion going with us.
And it's tough sometimes after. Let's say it's after and there's, I wait a good amount of time to let people leave before I go back out.
Right.
And I go back out to help with ring crew or whatever, and this mom is like, "Oh, my kid loves you," and it's like,
how do you?
All right, hey buddy, what's up? It's not that I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's that Frost doesn't want to.
Isn't supposed to.
And at that point, it doesn't matter. It's local. It's not like. Chris Jericho's
I got you.
He's obsessed with being a heel, and it's great.
Absolutely.
Good.
There's a time where
If I work for a company that big, I will be obsessed with being a heel, but right now.
There was a time where when kayfabe was on a weird course, and it still is, but I like keeping the kayfabe alive. I do it on Center Ring. I don't do it here because I like to peel back.
Yeah.
And show Ryan and Ryan Frost, if you want to take us on both that ride, which you did. But I like to, that's what I like out of this. But, going to the shows, I boo, and I make sure I boo the same guys because I don't want, the fans want to boo the bad guys and they want to cheer the good guys.
You know what I wait for every time I come out? Frost, you suck. Frost, you suck. And some of these crowds are not smart enough to keep along with you.
To
and
follow.
They just do a different chant that kind of sounds the same. But I wait for that. I'm like, yeah, where's Don? Let's go.
Man, those are good times, man.
Yeah.
Very good times. I don't even know how long we've been talking. It could have been 5 hours by now. It's been very comfortable
I think it's been
out
about
here.
55 minutes.
It's possible. Wow. Specifically 55.
That's what I think.
It's very comfortable. It's been really amazing talking to you just like we are because it's outside the shows.
But pterodactyls.
The pterodactyls. Dude, they are amongst the most numbers I've seen in a long time. Before we do wrap this up, is there anything you would like to talk to the fans or say anything to the fans as Ryan or if Ryan Frost? It doesn't matter because, like I said, take us on a roller coaster ride. Is there something that you would like to maybe say to the fans that
I gotta thank PWA for getting me started.
Beautiful.
Joseph Von Schmidt actually got me to wrestle in North Carolina. It was like my 4th match ever.
Really?
You know,
Traveling on your 4th match?
He brought me, Hippie, and Sammy down there.
Wow.
You know, for a show.
Nice.
For an event. You know, PWA was where I started. Bull Dread, you know, I watched him back in the day, and then he was training me. You know, I still talk to him definitely every week.
Is that surreal? When you've seen these guys wrestle and then you go under their tutelage?
So this past Saturday, when we were coming back from bell time, I'm sitting at this table at Red Robin, right? And I'm sitting with Eli, you know, Elijah Six, who I have driven to virtually every wrestling class he's taken. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, this kid, you know, hit me up via Messenger, like, hey, do you go to PWA? Can you help me get there? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Actually, PJ Von Schmidt put us in touch when it was PWA.
Okay.
And dude, Eli is gonna go somewhere. He's getting signed.
I absolutely can't stand him, and I love every single thing about him.
He's getting signed sometime or somewhere. But so, what was I saying about PWA? Well, Dredd is there.
Yeah, we were talking about the surrealness.
The surrealness. So I'm at Red Robin, and I'm sitting there, and, you know, we're ordering and shit, and I look over, and there's Dan the Man. You know, Dan the Man's not super famous. He's not like WWE guy, but I watched him a lot. And I always enjoyed his work. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, damn, there's Dan the Man. And we're not just contemporaries, because we are contemporaries at this point. He's helped me a great deal. Actually, he's helped me. So I credit a lot of how good I am at promos to, like, the acting degree and stuff, but Dan has helped me turn the acting stuff into shorter clips.
Wrestling.
Say what you want to say. And he's helped me with my live in-ring promos a great deal as well. There's Dan the Man sitting at the other end of the table, and I didn't even, like, wave at him. I didn't even say anything. I'm just, like, thinking in my head, like, I'm sitting here, and we're not only, like, contemporaries, we're friends. I'm friends with Dan the Man. And this is just, like, normal.
Right.
This is crazy, you know?
That's awesome.
When I saw Ron Zombie backstage at Undeniable, I'm like, hey, man. And then I realized when I greeted him in such a, like, nondescript way, that I greeted him in such a nondescript way. I was like, that's my opponent tonight. That's a New England Hall of Famer, but it's a guy who I've seen at a million shows. I've sung with the band he was playing with at the time they were playing. Like, that's just Ron.
Your life has gone a lot of full circle with some of these cats.
Well, I'm still broke. So.
It's bad. So to get away from the surrealness, and you were mentioning thanks. And I didn't mean to cut you off. I really didn't.
Oh, bro.
Yeah,
you're good.
I did.
I'm thanking everybody. I'm thanking you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm thanking Don Kincaid first and foremost. Also, Mike, Fogman Avitable, Ron, center ring guys.
Yes, sir.
Bruce, center ring. You know, because he doesn't get any credit. He should get way more credit.
He's more behind the scenes than he should. You are correct, sir. You're definitely right.
Ron Kulik with the Woo Crew.
Jim Kulik, I just want to... Fuck. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You can't remember everybody's name. Neither can I.
He's going to be so mad at me.
No, he's not. He's going to give you a woo for calling him Ron Kulik.
There were just so many Rons in a row. Jim Kulik. And the Woo Crew. But I said Woo Crew, so he knows I know who I'm talking
absolutely.
about. You know, and when you get to test of strength, it's insane. Like, it's just, I went from, like, taking a bunch of hip tosses and not knowing if I was going to wrestle, because at Friday Night Fights, you had Montekia, you had...
Sebastian Cage. You had all these guys. You had Nathaniel Carr.
Dan the Man.
Oh, no. I knew I was going to get...
Nate Carr was there for my first Stevie Richards seminar as well.
I knew you were going to get that.
You have, and Nathaniel Carr has always been nothing but nice to me. I will not throw him under the bus.
Fantastic guy.
Good guy.
Love him
Great
to
guy.
pieces.
So I apologize. I didn't.
No, we were just having fun. Come on, I threw you a curveball.
Xander Litt was the first person who was nice to me in wrestling. He was very welcoming at that Stevie seminar. But Test of Strength has been a different animal
altogether.
since I got there. And I'm not saying that PWA wasn't great. I'm just saying that, Wagner, Bobby, Dan chips in on training as well. Hippie, Moonshine are always there. Eli, actually, I'm going to thank Eli just for getting me to training, because there are times when I have to drive up there to Hartford, and like I don't want to be the reason that Eli can't train, so I bring him. There's all kinds of stuff. Bell Time, I got to thank Bo Douglas. Battlefront. Oh, I got to thank Dante Luna too, even though he's not like the trainer at Bell Time. Their whole production, their entire thing.
It's all Dante, see?
Money.
Yeah.
Money. I got to thank Dirtbag Dan. He's led to me being in different places. Battlefront is huge. I'm in a documentary. I'm in a music video.
How fun was that, real quick?
The only company that has willingly offered me a live microphone.
Really?
Yeah. PAPW did, but that was a joke. But Battlefront is the first company that was like, yeah, Ryan, cut a promo here.
No kidding.
And they were both great.
Live promos, promos with a camera. What do you prefer?
Much prefer live.
Really?
Because you can always feel it. You can just know. You can say something, it falls flat, and you're like, okay, cool. I just got to say something else to get them back.
To turn around, right?
Yeah. Well, and also that goes back to the acting and the singing.
Yep.
You always want the instantaneous feedback. You want that instant gratification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Battlefront's the only company that ever gave you a hot mic.
Test of Strength did by mistake at Undeniable. Because the crowd was cheering. And I grabbed it from Haggerty.
Yeah, real.
Narc Adam Haggerty. I want to thank him too.
Please
Great
continue.
guy.
I keep interrupting you, but
you're fine.
that
I keep
crowd
rambling.
at Undeniable. No, you're doing your thanks, and that. But Undeniable, dude. I think that's the show where I've never heard the pop for Fraust ever. The crowd was insane when you came through the dude.
There are a few voices everywhere that are like, yeah, because it's like, yeah, man, because I'm honest. I'm mean, but I'm honest.
Yeah.
But
jeez, I think I just got hit by a 747.
Tasrax is home.
That
You're
for
gonna
me,
give me Naugatuck? I'm from Watertown, Waterbury area. You're gonna give me Naugatuck? I sold 30 tickets, bro.
I'm telling you, for me,
And you didn't buy a ticket from me.
no. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, like, none of the stalwarts bought their tickets from me.
I got mine like a month and a half in advance.
I sold like 30 tickets to that.
That's awesome.
And it's like,
And that room was pretty jamming.
it'll be more jamming on August 3rd at House Rules.
That is going to be crazy.
We're putting the merch in the bar.
Oh, a little more room. Oh, a little more room. Oh,
We need a lot more room.
It's going to get
We
crazy.
need a lot. It's a Saturday night. It's not Father's Day. It was fucking.
That's okay. Don't
It
worry
was
about it.
Father's Day. How many people are you going to get for Father's Day?
And it was jamming.
And it was jamming.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy on August 3rd. But,
A lot of fun, man.
hey, thank you.
It's been a lot of fun. Is there anybody else that you haven't thanked or anything else you would like to? Because this, these stirring the pots, I may cut them into two pieces because some of them are a little longer than others. But this is definitely not the last stirring the pot with Ryan Fraust that I will ever do. Because there's going to be more down the road.
There's going to be stuff to talk about.
Wrestling evolves. Characters evolve. People evolve. Times evolve. So later on, I'm sure I will be revisiting some of these people that I've already interviewed, plus one Ryan Fraust.
I want to fight Bobby Ocean.
Whoa!
You got to isolate that clip. I want to fight Bobby Ocean.
I'm going to take that without my loud mouth.
No, I like your loud mouth.
didn't do that.
I like you reacting to it. That's good.
I do that. It just happens. That's what wrestling does to me, though, as a fan. Stupid little
But
thing.
I actually want you to. There was Bobby Ocean responded to a thing I sent, a video I sent, and he goes, "Oh, that's twice you said my name. See what happens when you say it a third time." And I said, "I don't know.
That's right.
Is it going to be the same as if I click my heel 3 times?
That's right. I remember
You
that.
know, is it going to be like the Candyman? Because like I'll do it again. Let's go." Every time I talk to Bob, and you can clip this back in with it, you can make it all one thing. Every time I talk to Bobby Ocean about fighting him, he says, "You don't want this." He says, "You don't need this."
Wow.
And I say, "Bro, I was an all-state wrestler. You're going to wrestle me? I'll wrestle you. You want to hit me as hard as you can? He may hit harder than I do, but I can take it."
He hits hard.
Good. Let's go. Because I'm not always even on the top of my game. I get that. But I'll be ready to take those shots.
But if a Ryan Frost goes one-on-one with a guy like Bobby Ocean,
You know I'm like twice his height, right?
yeah. But the size factor. But a guy like Bobby Ocean could make Mr. Frost shine even if he wins.
What the fuck is that, Don? I'm going to beat Bobby Ocean.
Oh, well, I was just
Even if he wins.
I was just
this whole
saying.
thing, everybody's like, well, you got your match with Ron. It doesn't matter if he won. No, bro. I should have won that match. I'm sorry that he hit me with a barbed wire wrapped baseball bat twice, which I still have people asking me, how bad did that hurt? And 2 moron referees. I love Bill, but like he was not on his game that day. He was not on his game that day, and Miggy is the shits.
What? Holy cow!
And a DDT from the apron through a table to the floor.
I saw that.
And then another DDT onto the table that was too stubborn to break.
I was right there.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah. So if you
So that's what you're saying. So that's what Kincaid is saying now is, oh, well, you didn't win, but it's okay.
You've already alluded to him losing.
I'll
against
beat Bobby Ocean. Because he's not going to do any of that hardcore garbage. We're going to be one-on-one in the ring.
Very, very interesting.
We'll see what happens, but...
You know what? I could continue and go for another 3 hours. But leaving with Bobby Ocean and Ryan Frost as a very possibility, probably a bigger possibility than we all realize.
Oh, I hope so.
I'm leaving it at that.
I'll tell you this. Peel back the 4th curtain.
Yeah.
I have no idea. There is no plan in place for me to fight Bobby. I just want to.
Wow. Just putting it out there.
You got to put it out in the universe or else it's never going to happen.
That's right.
Or he said to talk shit, so I'm talking shit.
Whoa! Man, you're putting it out there.
It's out there.
And I appreciate that because you want to know why? This is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid and my very special guest. And I got to say very special guest because it's Ryan Frost, baby. He's my protector. He helps me everywhere I go, man. And it's been amazing. Tonight, the setting, the conversation. It's been really, really fun tonight, man. And all bullshit aside, I thank you so much for your time.
Love you, man.
This is Stirring the Pot with Ryan Frost.
With Don Kincaid.
This is the infamous Ryan Frost, and you are listening to one of 3 human beings on this planet that I can even tolerate to be around. Don Kincaid.